All right, let's just jump right in. Most of us think of listening as, well, something that just happens, right? It's passive. But what if I told you that one specific type of listening could literally transform your most important relationships? We're about to walk through a really personal story that shows exactly how that's possible.
And this quote, it just nails it, doesn't it? This is the central idea. It's not just about hearing the words someone is saying. It's about building a skill. It's a practice, something that takes patience, kind of like learning to play the guitar or any other instrument.
And this is where it all gets very real. So we're going to follow the story of a mother named Jasmine who learned this one skill and used it to connect with her teenage daughter during a really tough time. It's a story about frustration, a huge aha moment, and ultimately a much, much deeper connection.
So, where did this journey begin? Well, for Jasmine, it all started with this feeling that she and her daughter just couldn't communicate anymore.
Okay, so check this out because this slide really sets the scene. On one side, you have her daughter, a school debater, super expressive, very strong in her opinions. You know the type. And then on the other side, you have Jasmine, who found it a lot harder to get her own thoughts out. This mismatch, it made every conversation feel tense, and honestly, just exhausting for both of them.
And you can just imagine this question, right? Just playing on a loop in Jasmine's head. Why is it so hard to talk to her? I think a lot of us can relate to that feeling in some relationship in our lives, where every conversation just feels like you're walking on eggshells. She knew something had to give.
And that change came from this really powerful moment of insight, a total shift in how she saw everything. She called it her iceberg realization.
And this is it's so brilliant. Jasmine realized she was only seeing the tiniest tip of the iceberg, her daughter's behavior, right? The arguments, the eye rolls, the strong opinions. But she was completely missing this massive, invisible world under the surface. All of her daughter's emotions, her needs, the struggle she wasn't talking about. And let's be honest, this isn't just about parenting. We do this all the time, reacting to what we see on the surface, totally blind to what's really going on underneath.
So she knew the goal itself had to change, completely. It wasn't about fixing her daughter or correcting her behavior anymore. The new mission was simply to understand and to connect. She even talked about it like she needed to upgrade her parenting license, like this was a whole new skill she had to learn from scratch.
So with this new mission, Jasmine started to build a toolkit, a new set of practical ways to build that bridge back to her daughter.
She started with this simple but honestly profound little mantra. Whenever her daughter came to talk to her, she'd remind herself of these three things. The most important time, now. The most important person, her. The most important thing to do, to care. That meant putting the phone down, turning away from the computer, and just being fully present. Because that undivided attention, that's one of the deepest ways we can show someone we truly care.
Okay, this next part is huge. She learned not to immediately jump in with advice. And wow, is that hard to do, right? Our first instinct is always to fix things. Instead, she started using this three-step framework. First, empathize. Just name the feeling. I can sense you're upset. Second, validate. Let them know the feeling makes sense. It's understandable why you feel that way. And third, affirm. Just acknowledge their effort. I can see you're trying your best. This creates this amazing space where her daughter could just talk without worrying about being judged or fixed. And she added a few more simple but powerful tools to her kid. Asking, hey, do you want my opinion or do you just need me to listen? That's a total game changer. Or just being honest and saying, you know what, I really want to hear this, but I'm too tired to give you my full attention right now. Can we talk in a bit? That shows so much respect. And knowing when to just take a pause when things get heated, absolutely crucial. These little things built this foundation of safety.
All right, so after all this hard work, did it actually pay off? Well, it wasn't an overnight fix, but the results, they were just incredible. This was one of the first things she heard. Can you just imagine, after all that struggle, to hear those words? That's the moment you know the bridge you've been building, someone's starting to walk across it. It was working.
And then it got even deeper than that. I feel safe to talk to you. Safety, that's everything, isn't it? It's the bedrock of any open, real relationship. By choosing empathy over judgment again and again, Jasmine had created the space of real psychological safety for her daughter.
And then there's this one. This one really gets you. From conversations that felt like minefields to becoming the one person who knew all her daughter's secrets, it's just an amazing testament to the power of this one skill to heal even the most difficult connections. You know, Jasmine doesn't think of these words as trophies for being some kind of perfect mom. In fact, she'd be the first one to tell you she still messes up all the time. Instead, she sees them as words for just being present, for that small, consistent effort of choosing to connect instead of correct, day after day.
And that is such a key takeaway here. This story doesn't have a neat, "and they lived happily ever after" ending, where all the problems are gone forever. It's a reminder that mindfulness isn't a finish line you cross. It's a practice. It's a journey you're always on, learning and relearning, one conversation at a time.
So let's end on this really powerful thought. Look, life is always going to throw stress and challenges at us. That's a given. But Jasmine's story shows us that how we choose to respond, that's everything. By choosing to listen, really listen, we can navigate that stress with so much more grace. We can choose connection over conflict. And that simple choice, day in and day out, might just be how we make our own suffering optional.